Hey, it's Terry here with Sail to Utopia and today's project day. It's a little bit bumpy, rough, windy, and we have a dozen things going on at once. And so I'm doing some of the little beautification projects I told you I was going to do on Utopia after the systems got straightened out. So one of them is we upgraded our outlets to GFI breakers, and the GFI breaker plugs are in squares rather than the traditional round opening type outlets. I think you can see that pretty well. And Utopia was blessed with lovely teak outlet plugs. So I didn't want to throw these away to get square plastic ones. I love the wood. So I made a template out of scratch paper, and really all I have to do is cut the roundness out of this. So I drew on the back here the square corners, take out this middle section, and get my Dremel tools out and get to work. So we're gonna do this. I have 2 outlet plugs to fix. I've already done one in advance of this video, so I was sure I wasn't gonna bust these up. But I've marked my template, and I'm gonna show you how we do this, how I do it. So like I showed you a minute ago, I used some, a piece of scrap paper for a template, and I put it over the shape that I need. And it's pretty obvious that the rounded corners need to come out and the centerpiece needs to come out. And I marked a hole where the screws will go in at the top and bottom on this new square outlet plug. So I don't scratch up the finish on the front, I went ahead and just drew it on the back and used a Sharpie to mark all the places where I want to cut the wood off. So I have my straight edge here, here, and the corners. It's not quite so straight on that corner. So I'm going to fix that just a little bit. I guess a good way to do it is tape is nice and square. And I just have to line that up with the bottom edge. So like that. So there's no blue tape showing there. I'm just going to keep this bottom edge, this top edge, and square that off. Same on the sides. It's a little windy, so it's easier to work with tape that sticks than a paper template that's wobbling around. And then this will mean I have less to touch up once I'm done. For my cutting, I'm using my Milwaukee products that I love, Dremel tool. And I got a little cutting blade that's like a saw, but little tiny, so I can put this together. And all you have to do is put the blade into the aperture. There's a lockdown nut, but then to make sure it's tight, there's a button on here you push. Put the wrench on, the button will release the lock inside. You just give it a little tug to make it tight, release the button, and that puppy's not going out no matter what you cut. I also brought from my galley, because everything has to have 2 jobs, my bamboo cutting board sink drain. Since I'm working here in the cockpit to get this done, a lot of boat projects just require you do them where you are. I can use this hole so that I can cut without cutting onto the surface or actually cutting my cutting board. And it gives me some place to secure this so that when the saw is going, it's not going to jump. I'm going to move you a little bit closer so you can see me cutting. I have the Dremel set on 2, and it's a little bit noisy, so you can turn your volume down if you like. Closer to the edge of the hole gives it more support. Just to show you, it makes a nice groove in there. And so I'm going to continue cutting this. And we'll just fast forward through all this. So the edge on this is a little irregular because it's by hand and I'm not perfect. So I'm going to switch to a sanding stone to smooth the edges of this. So same thing, you push in the button, get ready to unlock this, loosen it, and that just comes right out. Put this one in, push, tighten it down, push the button in, put the wrench on, and it's secure. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this and make the edge smooth. So I used my Sharpie and marked the holes for the screws to hold the switch plate on. And we're just going to gently make that hole. And there we go. So now I'm going to go plug this in. So down here in the galley area is where this outlet is. Get up there close so we can see. I decided to use some nice brass Phillips head screws to put this back on. And my little Milwaukee multi screwdriver tool. So I'm gonna line this up with the hole on the top. Get that on there. That one fits. Bottom one should line up if my, yep, right in the hole. Now we have a safe and beautiful GFI outlet. I hope you enjoy watching my little videos and vignettes that I do about repairs on the boat and things that I have repurposed, restored, reused. Like, share, subscribe. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, so help keep pushing me over. I'm going for the gold, and we're going to start doing more and more videos of our sailing and Majestic as we get projects going there. I have to start going and videoing with Jay when he's working. It's a ton of fun, and we're prepping for our Puerto Rico adventure. Cheers, y'all.